Situation. Summer is the main time for employment. Winter is not so good. Wages are low all the time in this area, and a lot of people really don't want to get jobs sometimes because they're better off on the dole. And if the dole's paying more than the wage, they're not going to get off their backsides and go out and work. But with all the cuts coming up, that may change the situation. They may start trying to find work. But even if they look, there's no work here, very little work, and therefore poverty is the name of the game on this estate most of the time, and that's why we are in deprivation. When we started back in 1995, poverty and deprivation, we were very high up in the scales of that. It was a problem. We got a £2.2 million grant, which we done the housing stock up with, improved things, saved people money. They didn't have much more money, but what they had was more wisely spent, and they weren't in fuel poverty. So we actually dragged them into a better way of life for a while. But the way the country's going now and the cuts in benefits, I think this is the beginning of the storm. What's the government done to help the situation? Absolutely nothing. They've made it worse. They've stopped the council from raising rents and said it's a 1% rent drop, which sounds really good for people who haven't got money, but that in turn is going to cause the housing company a problem, which in turn will mean the maintenance is not done, which in turn will mean the houses will be a worse stock, which will make it worse for the people for the saving of 72p a week. I'm afraid they want to get out of London, come down here and see what it's all about. We do whatever the estate wants us to do on this on our charity. It's really ruled by what the people ask us to do, but the main things we've been doing for many years is welfare benefit advice. Citizens advice in Falmouth is down to 2.25 hours a week. If you can get down there and get them to answer the door, it's not very good at all. So we run a welfare benefit scheme, which is totally free to people, helping them fill out all those nasty forms, and there's more and more of them these days, all the changes in funding and welfare benefits. We run all sorts of other schemes, like helping people apply for housing, helping them get housing, arguing their case when they're turned down, representing them in meetings with housing officers who sometimes think they're above their station and talk down to people. We also run a social side, which includes art and craft, bus trips, carol services, fun days, eat-ins in the office, which is my favourite one, where we all sit around and have a lovely meal because the ship shop's just next door, and then try and put the worlds to right. So that's what we do. Anything.